The orca was a revered creature in many coastal cultures throughout time, from the north in Alaska and the Pacific Northwest to the effigies of the Southern California coast and Channel Islands. It was depicted in many pieces of indigenous artwork. It is no surprise then that it appears as the main subject on a panel belonging to the great mural rock art tradition in Baja California. This site, named Tonos after the rancher who discovered it, is 5 kilometers from the more famous San Borjita site. Located on a cliffside overlooking a canyon, a 20-meter long panel consisting mostly of monos, which is the name given to the human-like figures of the cave painting tradition of the region. The orca takes up about 8 meters, which the author states may make it a candidate for the largest single pictograph in the world. Painted in red and facing right over more older yellow pictographs, it is easily identified as being an orca due to its large dorsal fin and blunt head. Surprisingly, there is also another smaller whale in red painted within this larger one, facing left and no flippers. Smaller creatures were painted underneath the whale, which include a school of fish, a sea turtle, a smaller sea turtle, an unfinished fishtail underneath the whale, its flippers. As for the older paintings that were covered up by the whale and other motifs, they were painted in yellow. They consist of a bird with its wings spread, probably a condor or eagle, fish, and a quadruped, which is most likely a bighorn sheep. As for the monos, the one on the left has its hands stretched out in what is called the scarecrow style, the oldest style of the great mural tradition, and with a checkerboard pattern, and the mono on the right has a vertically drawn pattern, meaning one half is solid red and the other is just the outline of the figure. Something interesting was noted in this style. They were drawn at the same time, it seems, yet the checkerboard pattern on monos has been recorded by archaeologists studying the great mural tradition as being an older motif. How is it then that these monos were drawn with older and newer motifs? The answer is that they were drawn over another pair of monos in a similar style, and that the artist of the recent monos was copying the checkerboard pattern of the older pair. This site helped to confirm that the scarecrow style is one of the oldest styles in the great mural rock art tradition. Unfortunately, as the great mural tradition cannot be ascribed to any historical peoples, as mentioned in the Baja California Violence and Warfare film, the Cochimi believed these paintings were created by a nation of giant people from a conflict in the north and were eventually tracked down by their attackers and the locals joining in exterminating them. There also doesn't seem to be any sort of surviving mention of whales or orcas in the local indigenous worldview and cosmology. This is where the author speculates that the yearly migration of gray whales in winter to their breeding grounds in the Gulf of California and San Ignacio Lagoon on the Pacific coast and their return journey back to the Bering Sea attracts orcapods that hunt the caliphs of the whales. Perhaps events like this were witnessed by the artist, and the orca was respected and revered enough to have a giant pictograph dedicated to it.